Why? Because you don't look for a real estate agent in the classified section of the newspaper.
This is the real estate section of the newspaper.
It is the real estate section of the newspaper. That is true.
So?
Let me tell you something I believe philosophically about real estate, Anne.
I'm ready.
I believe there's a real estate agent for every client, and there is a client for every real estate agent. And when you're getting ready to buy a house, or you're getting ready to list your house, you've got to find the right agent for you.
It just warms my cold black heart.
It does, doesn't it?
So how do I go about finding the perfect agent for me?
Well, I think it's important to take a look at what's important to you. Let's say you are a seller, with a gorgeous 2,400 square foot house in Browns Point with a 3-car garage. And it's time to sell. Because you're moving with a little lady to Day Island.
Ooh,
doesn't that sound nice? Yeah, you want to be on the water. So what you need when you're listing your house in Browns Point is an expert on Browns Point. And someone who fits with your personality. Like maybe you're a little goofy and maybe you're very relaxed. So you want an agent that, you know, is going to get that and not judge you. Or maybe you're very fancy. I mean, you do have a 3-car garage. And maybe you need someone who's a little bit fancy and who, you know, is going to get you. Or maybe you don't like real estate agents at all. Maybe you think they're all horrible people that are out to take your money. You need a shark. And you know what? There are sharks in this business. And maybe you want that shark to be your shark.
This is true.
Yeah, so you need to find that guy. So how do you figure out what an agent's all about and what's their personality?
So most people start by asking a friend.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
That's better than...
What if you don't have any friends?
Then you call the shark.
I have a better idea. To the internet!
Okay.
So I think a good way to do it is to start looking on sites like Yelp and Zillow and Google. All of these sites have review features built into them.
Reviews from actual people who have used the realtors that you're considering interviewing.
Exactly. And I think you can learn as much from a positive review as you can from a negative review. Some people have a lot of reviews, some people only have a couple reviews, but you can tell even when somebody's giving like a really great review, you can kind of read between the lines a little bit and see what that realtor is all about.
Yeah, look for a consistent sort of type of feedback on a particular agent that might give you a cue on what their style is like.
Right, so if the clients are talking about how analytical and professional that agent was, and you just want somebody who's like super fun, well, you probably want to call me instead of them. But maybe you want somebody who's a bit more of a father figure.
And
somebody who's a bit more of a numbers guy. You know, maybe you want somebody who's really experienced with land. Maybe you want someone who really gets horses.
Maybe you aren't entirely sure what you want, and one of the most important things I would say is to take the time to meet your agent in person.
Absolutely.
Recognize the fact that if you jump straight to going out and looking at houses, you might have missed an important step in this process, which is to make sure that you guys are a match for each other and that that person gets you and that you're actually going to enjoy your time together, because this is an incredibly intimate process, which some people don't want to hear, but it really is.
And sometimes I think if you talk to a couple of agents, you're doing the agent a favor, because real estate agents, we have a hard time turning down business, even when we're not clicking. Like even when the client and us, like maybe we don't really get each other, like we're probably still going to go forward. But maybe you, after talking to 1, 2, 3 agents, you know who you're clicking with and you know who you like the best and they're liking you back. Go with that person.
So a good combination is to do some online research. Check them out. Do they sell houses in the area? Do they have knowledge about the neighborhoods that you're interested in? So if you're somebody and you want a highly walkable location, or you're getting ready to start your family and you want to know about the schools, make sure you're asking those kinds of questions of the agents that you're interviewing.
And that they seem to have the answers readily available.
Yeah, so you can do some screening, some pre-screening, right, about sort of the data-oriented stuff, and then meet in person. You can meet people at open houses. You can set up coffee dates, ask for those personal recommendations, and if you click, then maybe it's time to start working together.
And make beautiful house music together.
Go about finding that perfect real estate agent then?
Well, I think there's a lot of different ways. And you know, there's nothing wrong with taking a peek in the paper.
Well,
Why are you gonna judge me?